All right, sticking here with marriages and fiancés. Her brother is dating one of her fiance's ex-girlfriends and wants to bring her to the wedding. And she was going to sit down with the brother and say, what are you doing? You remember this?
I do. So she's angry about it because, yes, she's getting married. And her brother just recently told her that he's dating one of her fiance's ex-girlfriends and he wants to bring her as his plus one, which she does not want anyone at her wedding who has romantic history with either herself or her fiance, which is understandable. But the brother is doubling down, saying, well, you're inviting one of his ex-girlfriends to the wedding, so he feels like it's the same thing. He has to be there with an ex. Why can't she be there with one of her fiance's exes? But obviously, she feels like it's very different having someone there that has romantic history to yourself at your own wedding than just having someone there at someone else's wedding. So she was having this back and forth with her brother and wasn't exactly sure how she should handle it.
All right, so over the weekend, what happened? Here's our update email. So I talked to my brother about the whole situation with him wanting to bring his new girlfriend to the wedding. Didn't exactly go smoothly. He got all worked up and said he won't come to the wedding if she's not invited. He accused me of being dramatic and making things difficult. He must have gone directly to my parents because I got a call from my mom an hour later, and now they're taking his side. She told me to just be easy and let my brother bring whoever he wants. She made it clear that the day isn't just about me, but that weddings are a day for the entire family to celebrate, to enjoy themselves. Okay, let's chew on that for a second. Is that how your guys' families viewed your wedding also? It's just like it's also a party for the families, or is it about just the bride and the groom?
I mean, you wouldn't be there if it wasn't for your families. I think it's completely dependent on the relationship you have with your family. I couldn't imagine my wedding without my family. I couldn't imagine my brother not being a groomsman. I couldn't imagine my dad not walking me down the aisle and having a father-daughter dance. Like, family was a very important aspect of my wedding. So I think for everybody, it's different.
Kat?
Yeah, same. I wouldn't have done the wedding without the family. And I think for me, it even extended to like lifelong close friends. Like, I checked the wedding date to make sure it worked with their schedule before I booked the venue.
She also said, if I'm so stressed about the guest list, then I'm focusing on the wrong things. Honestly, I'm pretty furious about the entire thing. Unfortunately, my parents are helping out with the wedding costs, so I'm kind of stuck in this situation. I just need to find a clever way to make sure our interaction with her and even awareness of her is minimal on that day. Any ideas, is what she says. 1-855-BERTSHA.
I mean, I have one. I don't understand why you are the sole person jumping on this ex grenade. It's your fiance's ex. Mm-hmm. If anybody should not want her there, it's him. So why is your groom not sitting down with your brother being like, hey, this is going to make me highly uncomfortable on my wedding day if you bring my ex?
Right.
So if you guys come in, because, I mean, this is it. You're a team. You got to go in this together. I don't understand why you're on a solo mission when it should be a group mission between the two of you. And you and him sit down with your family and be like, we're on the same page here. I'm uncomfortable having somebody who has slept with my soon-to-be husband there. He's uncomfortable with having an ex and doesn't want her there. So she's not welcome. And then the family, that's your decision. And if the family decides to make a stink about it, and I don't like this gaslighting and turning stuff around, like, why are you making such a big deal about it? Well, actually, I'm asking you to do something, and you're the one making a big deal about it by not wanting to abide by my request. So who's really the person making a big deal about it?
Yeah, if I had to take a guess, I think that she's probably the eldest daughter in her family. And there's this thing that people have been talking about on social media called eldest daughter syndrome, where you're constantly in a people-pleasing mode. You're constantly looking for ways to, keep the peace. But I think at some point when you grow up and you start to realize your family dynamic, as you have that perspective, you start to realize like stuff like this is not fair. And you've constantly been asked to just, like you said, jump on the grenade, or just be easy is a word that's used. Like, it would just be so much easier if you didn't have a problem with this, because then we wouldn't have any conflict before your wedding. But I think Kristen's right. Like, you and your fiance need to come in as a team, because it's kind of like saying your birthday party isn't about you. It's about the people coming to celebrate you. I'm like, okay, yes, like, it is about a party and having everyone come together and celebrate. But at the end of the day, like, it is your birthday party. It is your wedding.
This would upset me a lot. This would have me pretty much on the verge of just having my wedding with no one being there. But, I mean, if you don't want to tell your family that you won't use their money, I feel like you're stuck. It's not really much you can do. But at the end of the day, I mean, this is your day. I think you should be able to have whoever you want at your wedding regardless. And if my family couldn't abide by that, then I would strongly consider getting married without them being there.
I think Kristen nailed it. I think there's a bigger issue here. I mean, you're entering into this marriage together, and this is a really good example of how you guys are going to handle conflict together. No way.
Yeah, don't leave me solo on this mission. We need to be in this together, a united front, and that she's not welcome to the wedding. Do with that as you will.
The Bert Show.